Donald Trump Jr. has just distinguished himself even further. The guy's got a lot of feathers in his cap throughout his career, and he's been an important political figure in the Donald Trump Sr. political ascendancy. But he gets a new feather in his cap for the funniest answer to a liberal media request that has ever been given. Mediaite, a liberal media outlet, asked Trump Jr. if he was going to run for president in 2028. They had this report based on all sorts of sources from around the Trump family that Don Jr. was planning a 2028 presidential run. In fact, this is the preface. 3 high-level sources told Mediaite that Donald Trump Jr., the eldest son and an omnipresent MAGA evangelist across the internet, is seriously considering a run for president in 2028. Trump Jr. denied he's considering a run for 2028 in a statement to Mediaite. I would now like to read you this statement verbatim. I accurately predicted that my buddy JD would be an instant power player in national GOP politics. So your theory is that I worked my ASS off to help him get the VP nomination because I want to run for president in 2028? Are you effing? I'm actually glad you're printing this BS, he says the whole word, because at least now the rest of the press corps will see how SHITTY your sources are and how easily you were played by them. Congrats, moron. Are you effing? That response to a liberal media request will never be topped. It is not possible. We all of us in conservative politics, we get requests from liberal media outlets for comment on occasion, more than on occasion. These days we get them frequently. And you sometimes say, are you kidding me? That's crazy. That you're totally off base here. You don't understand. But are you effing? I don't know how to beat that. That's from the president's son. It's evidence that he probably would be a quite good presidential candidate, but I take him at his word. He says he's not going to run in 2028. I have no reason to believe. Had I not seen this Mediaite report, I wouldn't have bet on Trump Jr. running in 2028. Though the fact that they raise it does point out to me he probably could do pretty well. He might get the nomination. I don't know. He's a very popular figure. He's very politically plugged in. He has been influential in the Trump administration. To his point, he was instrumental in securing the VP nomination for J.D. Vance, which also, to his point, goes to show he's probably not looking at the job for himself. If he picks a guy as strong as J.D. Vance to be the VP, he recognizes he's setting that guy up to be the president next time. And Don Jr. is doing all sorts of stuff in the private sector and having a good time of it. However, I don't know. He could do pretty well. He knows how to handle the press. Are you effing? I don't know. That's a new level. Good luck beating that. There's so much more to say. First, though, go to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Knowles. Balance of Nature fruits and veggies. It's the most convenient way to go whole fruits and vegetables daily, especially if you've focused on creating a healthier, happier lifestyle. Nature is pretty good at giving us the nutrients that we need through our fruits and vegetables. So Balance of Nature takes fruits and veggies, freeze dries them, turns them into a powder, and then puts them into a capsule. And you take your fruit and veggie capsules every day, and then your body knows what to do with them. Balance of Nature is just one ingredient of a healthy lifestyle, has no intention to replace a healthy lifestyle, exercise, sleep, or any other healthy habits. It's intended to be used in concert with those habits. I really, really like Balance of Nature. Especially, me, I was in New York Thursday night, Friday. I'm on the road constantly eating, all sorts of bad things that are not good for my health. So it's good to know, even if I can't get all those fruits and veggies all at once, I got that capsule right for me. Balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Knowles for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Plus, get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That is balanceofnature.com, promo code Knowles. Speaking of things that are not the wisest, I'll clean up that word. We try to be a little more delicate and diplomatic on this show. Speaking of things that are not the wisest, Stacey Abrams has just explained a $2 billion climate change graft that she was involved in. She went on, also speaking of the liberal media, she goes on MSNBC, is asked a softball question by Chris Hayes about this $2 billion climate change graft that President Trump alleged during his joint session address that she was involved in. She knows this question's coming. She's got to be prepared to answer this question. She's got to be prepared to defend the program, right? Here's her defense.
$1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
I led a program called Vitalizing DeSoto. We worked in a tiny town in South Georgia to demonstrate that by replacing energy inefficient appliances with efficient appliances, you can lower your cost. And in fact, we accomplished that. For 75% of the community, they got appliances that are lowering their bills. A coalition of organizations, famous organizations, came together and said to the EPA, if we can do this here, we can do this for millions more Americans. Let us invest the money of America in lowering the cost for Americans. And the EPA said, okay, great, go for it.
Okay, so you see Chris Hayes there. He had a couple interjections, but I cut it out for time. You see, he's just nodding along. He's like, you can almost read his mind. He's saying, this is the best you can do. According to her own explanation, this program that Trump called out in front of Congress is Dems in government giving Dems in the political operative sphere $2 billion to dole out on household appliances for whomever they see fit. The Democrats in government give $2 billion of your taxpayer money to extreme left-wing operatives to just dole out buying goodies, household goodies, for anyone they want to buy votes. Notably in Georgia, where the program began. Georgia, an important swing state. That's it. That's the best defense of the program that Stacey Abrams, intimately involved in the program, can come up with. You remember during the Obama administration, people pointed to a government program where Democrats would just buy cell phones for people to buy their votes, and they called them Obama phones. Now we've got Obama toasters. Now it's Abrams toasters. I don't know. Democrats are buying toasters and refrigerators and I don't know, new blenders for people to buy their votes. The issue is not the waste, though there's obviously a lot of waste there. The issue is the corruption. That's the issue. Okay, there are libertarians and conservatives in the right-wing tent, and we oppose the same things for different reasons. The libertarians oppose these kind of programs because they're so wasteful and inefficient, and that money would be better spent in the private sector of the free market. And my problem with it is not so much the spending. Big nations have robust governments, and robust governments spend some money. My issue isn't that the government is spending money. It's that it's the graft. It's the corruption. If you're going to spend the money, spend it on something good and useful and not obviously in furtherance of the self-interest of the Democrat Party, which is exactly what it is. That's a good clip. No, stop it. Get help. Ring the bell, subscribe to this channel, and then I'll see you next time.